Thought I'd put together a little video on handling firewood. 'Tis the season. Springtime here, getting the next winter's wood worked up. Thought I'd show you a little tool. If you haven't seen these before, I've kind of framed these as, the hydraulic wood splitter. They took a lot of work out of splitting wood from the old split and maul days. Well, get handy with these, and that takes a lot of the work out of running the wood splitter. These really are handy. So first thing, these are the smaller pair. I got them. These are a Husky set of wood tongs. A lot of different, everybody's got their knockoff versions. A couple things. Be sure you get a good handle. Okay, I've seen some cheap ones where this is really narrow, really hard on the hand. Okay, get a decent handle. Also, these are actually the smaller of the couple pair I've seen. They make a larger one. I have no use for them. This is all you need if you get handy and know how to use them. The other thing, right out of the box, this end will be shaped like a flathead screwdriver. They simply stamp them out of a piece of plate steel, throw them together in the box, and out the door they go. I take them, and I'm hoping I can show you where I put them on the grinder, and I will bevel at an angle from this side and the other side, and I want these to be nice and sharp. If they're not sharp, you'll find that actually in the smaller wood, they don't like to hook in, and the piece just falls off. If these are nice and sharp, then you can pick up even the smallest pieces of wood, and very handily. One place that they don't work, okay, or it can be kind of frustrating, as I should say, is if the wood that you're handling is dry to the point where your bark is falling off for whatever reason. Okay, sometimes your wood, the bark is loose, and then of course you're just pulling the bark off a chunk, and it works. You just got to yank the bark off and then grab the piece. But I'll throw in a few videos here, a couple of clips on just how handy they are to use them. hope you see here where it just extends your reach when you're keeping it, one hand on your splitter control arm lever there, and you can just grab chunks from so far away so easily. When I'm splitting wood using these here, I kind of just do this little challenge in my own head, if you will. I like that ram to just not stop moving, just constantly. As soon as she's come back, that next piece drops right in and away you go. If you're splitting like I have with a 4-way wedge, I have no need for a hydraulic up and down on that 4-way. I can show you here where I grab a smaller piece and I grab it a little bit off center, and I can very easily hold that against the ram, just put it wherever I want. If I just want to pop it in half like this here, then that's all I do. And you'll notice even the straight grain wood, I don't even need to run it completely through the wedge. As soon as that pops, back your ram off, and it just makes it so fast. Using a 4-way, it's very easy to position it where you want it. And I think you'll see in the video clip as I'm going through, larger pieces, I simply keep the larger sections to my side, run it through, I can pull them back. It really is very handy. It's keeping the fingers away from that wedge. And I've gotten so that if I'm handling wood, these are a must. Now you'll see where I'm handling some decent sized pieces of wood, okay? You will run into some pieces where, it's your decision, of course, your strength to be able to handle some of the larger pieces. I'll just show you here a couple little ways you can, sort of modify from the one-arm control, and that is 2 hands on the tong to pick up that larger piece. To me, that's not really that handy. It puts an awful lot of pressure on the one hand that's against that handle. It's just a lot of pressure here. What I prefer to do is to stand the block up on one end, and I can still keep the back straight, lift with the legs, and then carry that larger piece if I need to go somewhere with it. Even if you don't need to actually pick it up, I think you can see where you could just use it basically as a hook and move pieces around pretty easily. I grew up using a pulp hook. Okay, I've handled more cords of 4-foot wood than I care to remember with a pulp hook. They work, but I think of a pulp hook as an impact tool, right? That's kind of slammed into the chunk, and then you can move them around like that. It happens, okay? Slam it into the knee, into the shin, not good. And it helps, but since I've gotten used to these guys here, these are my go-to. I would, if you're working in the woods, you're handling your wood out in the forest, I would recommend get yourself some sort of a belt set up. I use a harness, but if you have a belt, and you can use those pouches they sell for your felling wedges, and these work very nice. You can slip them right in there. You're walking around in the woods, and you're not going to lose it. It'll always be right there, ready when you need it. So there you go. Takes a little practice. It's a little flip of the wrist kind of thing to unhook them. Don't be afraid to just let them go. If you grab a chunk and kind of tugging on your arm, just let them go. You can get them, but they are very handy. And from a safety standpoint, really handling wood, a lot of repetitive motion. Some of those chunks get heavy, and you can see, I hope you could see through the short videos there, where I can keep my back straight, lift with the legs, and I even think, the back issue, a lot of, we hear about keeping the back straight, lift with your legs and so on, and they're usually referring to the lower back. I think you can see here where I actually continue that concern up the back with your upper back, trying to keep your shoulders square, so that when you're lifting, you don't need to lift the piece, this kind of thing up here in the shoulder. And I think you'll see if you kind of watch the little video clips there, where I actually do a lot of lifting with my left leg. Now I got the tongs in my left hand, but it's a combination of hoisting the piece up with my leg. So I'm trying to keep the strain out of the back and out of the shoulders, because it's a lot of repetitive motion. Hope that helps. We'll see you in the woods sometime.